Hold on. All right, just give me a minute. Give me a sec, guys. All right, we're gonna launch quick. We got a second to do this, guys. We got a second. Where's my tripod? Oh my God, give me a break, man. Are you kidding me? Shit, what the hell, man? Come on, did I lose it? Oh my God. Oh, it's right here, idiot. Okay, sorry, I just now got notified. Sorry. We're gonna try to get this launched. I just now got notified. I didn't know, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. Can somebody tweet that this is going up? All right, balloon, check. Tape, check. Counterweight, check. Dikes, check. Zippy ties, check. String, check. Glow stick, check. That's it. How fast can we launch a weather balloon? We're in the dry hole right now, guys. We're in the dry hole. I'll clean this up in a minute. Just give me a minute. Okay, all data is good. I want a short string on this because of the icing. It's not ideal, but it'll work. So we have to add glow sticks, so we're going to put that a little ways down and just tie that off. It's starting to rain already. We're going to do this real crude, real rough, and hope for the best, all right? Data's good. I just confirmed it. It's the dry hole, people. It's the dry hole. Duct tape to create a little bit of a seal on here. Okay, zippy ties are ready. It's calm out, so I'll use string, which is preferred. All right, let's let this go. Oh, it's a little froze. Real gentle at first. A little too much there. All right, we're working on it, guys. We're in the dry hole. Now's the time to do it. All right. I probably should go a little extra, but I'm a cheap ass. Okay. When it's nice and calm like this, we can go ahead and use that string because it's easier. Give me a zip tie though. And we're gonna full send this thing. Oh God, there's people. Is that Matt? No, that's the crazy lady. Capucci's here somewhere. Surprised he hasn't been summoned yet. There's like 6 storm chasers here, and I'm surprised none of them probably have any clue what's going on either. Okay, we're gonna cut this. Oh God, this crazy lady's watching me. Okay, we're good. Flight position, data's good. Nobody's blowing up my phone. I'm sure Keenan would call me if it were. Let's just me and my balloon. Which way is the wind going? Is it ready? All right, 3, 2, okay, go. Where'd it go? Oh, it's up there. You can't see it on the stream, but it's up there. Okay. That's the dry hole, people. We got the dry hole. Ah, it's way the fuck up there, too. Good launch. Yep, it's good. I'm tagging Hilton. Fuck them. From the dry hole, people. That's the dry hole. God, I'm going to get the cops called on me. All right, so there's our data. We are at 23. Look at that. We got good ascent rate, too. You guys can track it on your end also. Someone will post the link. I'm sure Keenan probably has. This thing's barely moved. Very calm atmosphere. Look at that. It's barely moved. Very calm in the dry hole. SKU-T's coming in. Whoa, look at that. Holy smokes. Oh, and yeah, there's our warm nose right there. Look at that. 0 degree isotherm. God damn, I'm so good. Look at that shit. God bless America. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, I just called 911 off my phone. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Guys. Major freezing rain sounding. God bless. Yeah, she's off. She's off. She's going. We are at a pressure of 876 millibars, height of 4,000 feet. Okay, it's gone. We did it. Easiest launch I've ever done. Mobile and from in the frickin' glory hole here or whatever the hell it's called. A freaking dick hole or something. I don't know. That's how you do it, folks. Guess I'm not such an idiot. Take that, Channel 8. Assholes. Oh, shoot. I'm mic'd up. Sorry. Whoops. Did I say that? Live from the glory hole, or the dry hole, whatever the hell it is, right? Same thing. Someday when I have a bunch of money and I'm rich, I'm just going to launch like a freaking, we'll launch a weather balloon every 10 minutes and just start comparing soundings. I think that's just the coolest thing ever. All right, we put our glow stick on there. Yes, I called the FAA. Well, somebody did. I didn't, but somebody did. But so it's gone. Oh, I still see it up there. No, I'm just kidding. It's gone. She's gone. It's on the portable receiver, so it's not gonna hold on very long. But that glow stick kind of makes it legal. Technically not, but that's what the Weather Service does, so that's what I do. Technically, it's supposed to be a light that flashes at a rate of 40 flashes per minute. It's a weather balloon. It's fine. That's what the National Weather Service does. Same glow stick the Weather Service uses. It's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. Let's look at live. Oh, shit. Live data, she's coming in. Oh my God, this skew T is nasty. Nasty looking skew T. God dang, what a pisser. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you guys can track this live. If you look in Radar Omega, actually I'm gonna pull up Cycrad just because my Radar Omega settings are tweaked to show the models. We are located in the dry hole, which is right here in Oxford. Right here. So we're about to get rained on, but we've got this dry hole. The wind is going that way toward Abbeville, so we should be okay. That thing should stay out of the freezing rain. If you guys go to wxeye.org, look at this here. See, right there, view sounding, okay? And you can do this on your phone. We're going to have this in Radar Omega soon. But here's our tracker. You can actually replay it. It's not moving much. We've got a relatively calm atmosphere. Our winds are at 72 miles per hour. I take that back. Ascent rate, vertical ascent's at 15 miles per hour. We're at about a 6 meters per second ascent rate. This thing is cruising right now. Here's our temperature graph. Look at that. Look at that warm nose. There's our altitude. This thing's climbed over almost to 7,000 feet or 8,000 feet. The wind speeds, as soon as we got, about a minute ago, we got about 50 miles per hour. Here's our stats. We've been in flight for about 15 minutes. Minimum temperature is 23.4 degrees. Max was 56.1. That's from when it was in the car. Here's our skew T coming in, and that's impressive. Oh my God, look at the warm nose on that, guys. And the analysis, this is going to be your full MetPy and Sharpie sounding that gets generated shortly. National Weather Service users, if you want to import this, okay, you go to the hamburger menu. You see where it says export Sharpie format? Click that. It's going to download you something. You can drag it and drop it right into Sharpie or whatever you're using. That's a valuable sounding right there, guys. Wow. That's basically, that's our, we're going to go in and analyze this, guys, but that's basically our temperature and our dew point close together. That's actually a pretty saturated air mass, right? Makes sense. There's clouds. But you see, so what we're looking at is the temperature down here on the x-axis. Hopefully that's not backwards, but if it is, see where it goes? This is the 0 degree line right here. It's going to the right of that 0 degree. It's above freezing. It's freezing at the surface. It's above freezing up high. That's why we're getting rain right now. All right, guys, we should go analyze this beast. The crazy lady didn't come over, so that's cool. Let me get my shit. Yeah, so good question. So yes, you can watch this in the Radar Omega app, yes, but not that. Yes and no. So you can watch what we're doing, right? We're working on integrating the sounding into Radar Omega. There's a lot to do when it comes to integrating stuff like this. It's not just point and click. You can obviously watch our live streams there, and we're working on a way to do this. I'm actually talking to Don right now as we're doing this, texting him back and forth. Don and the Radar Omega people are really good at data visualization. So somebody's probably going to come up with a really, really cool way to look at the data that's probably cooler than what we do. Just let them cook for a minute, if that makes sense. So the receiver, we're using the portable receiver, but I plugged it into the roof antenna. Okay, we're using a little bit of a Frankenstein setup right now. So because I've got the receiver in the truck down right now for an update, we're using the portable receiver, but this is the receiver antenna. I need to knock that ice off of there. That's the antenna that we're using right now, UHF, because we're on 404.5. And then it's coming in here. This normally goes to the receiver that's under the seat of the truck. But right now, I got the antenna plugged into the portable receiver, and I don't know if you can read that, but the portable receiver reads out information on the LCD. Focus. See, so here's our SOND ID, C6761415, 404.5 megahertz, 12,198 feet. And then it's going to flash over here on the right, temperature, latitude, longitude, and back to temperature. And that's just to give the user an idea that it's working. So we're going to leave this all run. I think I can shut off the truck because we're not using the truck power for anything, right? Yeah, we're not. Good. Yeah, we're not using the truck power for anything, so this can all come down, I guess. But let's go in and analyze this real quick. So the reason that we're not running, like I said, oh shit. Oh, you know what? We might be using the stream of the truck power. Maybe not. But the reason that we're not running the receiver on the truck is, so I'm doing an update on it. There's a compatibility issue with the software that we run and the Linux that's on there. So it's running Ubuntu, but it's running the server version, like 22.04, but it needs to go to like 24.04 or something. So I pulled everything off, I made an image, did all that crap, right? But I just didn't have time to put it back on. So I just said, screw it, we'll just use the portable receiver. I figured, we'll just use the portable receiver for now. And the problem with the portable receiver is God dang it. I might not have signal, guys, just I'm in the freaking stairwell. Let's give it a minute. I might not have signal, guys. We're almost out of this. Oh, power keeps going out, can't use the elevator. Okay, so the reason we can't use the portable receiver for more than like 15, 20 miles, that antenna that's on it sucks. It's just, it doesn't have a ground plane. Electrically, it's only half of an antenna. Anybody who knows anything about RF knows what I'm talking about, but hold on. Let's get some signal. Let's get some signal. Okay. Anyway, so anybody who knows anything about RF knows what I'm talking about. So that antenna on there, holy shit, is only half of an antenna. You have two halves of an antenna. You've got your radiating element and then your ground plane. That has no ground plane. It's just the radiating element because it's a plastic box. For receiving, it doesn't really matter that much, but it does matter enough. It does matter enough that it does kind of cause a few issues for us. So we only get like 10 to 20 miles out of that maybe, but that's fine for portable use because that usually gets us up to about 400 millibars, which is, the National Weather Service considers that a full sounding. I mean, we obviously go higher than that, but I mean, for portable use, it's fine. That's why we plugged it into the antenna on the truck. The receiver, the SDR, that's in that portable receiver doesn't have a preamp. So it has no preamp, no preamplifier on it, whatsoever. These signals get at or below the noise floor. That's Bell 202 telemetry, so it will work below the noise floor, but you have to have a preamp on it. I don't have a preamp, which basically amplifies the signal. I don't have a preamp on that. It's very similar to those preamps you used to have for your coax, over-the-air analog TV. So I don't have a preamp for that. So we're still gonna get less range, but it should be easier to pick it up. So that's how that works. So then we've got those receivers. It's on Zach's truck, Aiden's car, and then the portable units and all that. So let's open this up and track it. I gotta get set up here. The dry hole, people. It's the freaking dry hole. I'm telling you, I got made fun of so much for that earlier. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you guys, there's dry air here where it's not doing nothing. It's the dry hole. Guess what? It's a thing. So I'm not as stupid as they say, I guess. I mean, I am stupid at times, but anyway, so let's take a look at our data from the dry hole. Hopefully we're still picking up the sound. My phone hasn't rang yet, so that's probably good. I think my phone's on mute, so I don't know. But usually by now somebody would be blowing up my phone, telling me something's broken. Fingers. Yeah, it's good. We're up to 525 millibars. Yeah, we're good. Hold on, let me get you guys. So the way that our user interface works, okay, up here you've got your burger menu, and then your units, Fahrenheit, Celsius, feet, window full. That basically gives you full flight data or past 30 minutes. Copy link is obvious, help gives you a help guide, and then SharpEye format, that's for the National Weather Service specifically requested this, so they can actually export this into their format. This live button up here, this is gonna change to stale if this is old, so you know if you're looking at archive or not. This is the ID. This is the last timestamp. This updates every couple of seconds. Vertical speed, that's how fast it's going up or down. Wind, that's 61.7 or 67.1 miles per hour. This is unfiltered wind. It's not average, it's not smooth, and it's at 52 degrees. But you have to add 180 degrees to this. It is not meteorological direction. It is the direction it's blowing toward, not the direction it's blowing from. I know I should change that, but altitude, 18,967 feet. Hectopascals, which is millibars basically, 492.8. Dew point is 6, temperature 9.7. And we're showing our temperature dew point track here on this map, or on this chart. Here's our wind speed, again, that's unfiltered, and then altitude. So you've got your sliders. So especially when you're in archive mode, you can go back, and then this top bar, that reads out exactly what point you're at, and it also plays back the map. So here's the map, this is where it is. Over here, you've got stats. This is going to show you current flight duration, minimum, maximum temperature, altitude, pressure, ascent rate, which is your up and down vertical, wind speed, and then dew point, minimum, maximums.
Your SKU-T, this updates in real time, but this is not a full sounding analysis. This is simply a temperature and dew point plot. When you go over here to analysis, this is where your full sounding is going to generate, but we have to have the full data set first. So if we actually go back to the control panel, let's take a look at the one from Charleston, Missouri in November. This is a good example because there's actually CAPE. So if we go to analysis, see, we click on it and we've got the full file, and you can even save the PNG. But this is actually a full sounding. It's got the city, the state, the time, and Z. We've got LCL, LFC, and EL plotted. And we've got our SKU-Ts with our parcel path on here. This is surface-based parcel. Just very simple, right? And then over here, we've got our thermodynamics being calculated. This does have virtual temperature correction built in. I have nothing for wet bulb, though. Some people requested it, but I just don't think it's within the realm of possibilities right now. And I mean, who actually really cares about wet bulb anyway? But anyway, surface-based CAPE, ML, and MU CAPE. Surface temperature and surface dew point. Now, the server says, hey, what's the surface temp and surface dew point? So it takes the first plot when this thing started to ascend and marks surface temp, surface dew. So it's a clean temperature dew point. Lapse rates here, kinematics here, so like your 0 to 1 shear, helicity, 0 to 6 shear, 0 to 3 helicity. Storm motion is just standard bunkers motion, so 283, which is from 283 degrees at 33.1 knots. Composite indices, so SCP and STP, and those are just your standard algorithms for those two. We didn't do anything fancy. And the hodograph, and you'll notice we zoom in automatically on the quadrant of the hodograph that the squiggly line is in. We go to 10 kilometers. The purple line is 0 to 1, red line is 1 to 3, green line is 3 to 6, and the yellow line is 6 to 10. And then the little arrow is the storm motion vector, so you can say each ring is 10 knots, which is roughly miles per hour, is about between the 25 and 40, so it's right there, 33.1. It's 33.1, and then that's the direction that the storm is moving toward. Hopefully that's a crash course. I do need to put a color code on there. So that's how to read these soundings. So anyway, if you go to our website, projectweatheri.com, or I'm sorry, projectweatheri.com, wxi.org, you'll see this widget, and this is embeddable. You've got this little information icon. Click on that, and we'll put notes in there if we need to put notes in, or just click on view sounding. This works on your phone too. Yep, we're still going up. We're good. We got a good sounding, so that's all we needed. It can burst or we can lose signal now, and we've got everything we needed. My phone's blowing up. Good news though, being told everything's working. So that's that. So that's what you're supporting, folks. So obviously, a couple of people helped make this happen. Obviously, our group, scientificsales.com, KMOT. They're the only supplier of the National Weather Service, Space Force, military, all that with weather balloons, and then obviously like SDS Weather, Radar Omega integration as well. So, and obviously our audience. So this is actually really valuable data. We've got one hell of a winter sounding. I am not a sounding expert. I'm more of a data expert. So I don't really know, like somebody who knows more than I do can probably be like, oh, that's sleet, or oh, yeah, you know. But from what I'm seeing right now, we'll get an analysis here pretty soon. I can force it to generate a full analysis, but it does make it not generate one later. So we're just going to let this either go out of range or burst. We'll have a full analysis in like 30 minutes. But our really crude SKU-T basically shows that we've got freezing temperatures up to about 900 millibars, which is roughly 630 meters. Was it 18? So we're freezing all the way up to about 1,800 feet, and then everything above that is above freezing until you get back to 666 millibars, which is at 3.46 kilometers. So we've got a really wide or a really tall warm column there. And one thing I should show you guys, on here, if you want to zoom in on this SKU-T, see my cursor there? You can just click and drag on the SKU-T and then hover. We used to be calculating the SKU-T parameters and all that live using your browser, but the issue that I was having, it was crashing a lot of people's browsers. It was like 4,000 lines of JavaScript, and it was accurate and it was fine, but it was having a serious issue on a lot of browsers. So that's why we just went back to plotting the SKU-T, which is just basic. and then having the server generate a PNG image of the actual parameters and the sounding data, and then posting that to a specific URL, and then the website picks it up. We also get notifications in our Discord. So our staff, we're going to open this up to the public. So if you join our Discord, you can actually get these alerts in your in Discord. So like it popped up here and it says, you know, new radio sound detected, Intermet C676413, whatever, Oxford, Mississippi. And then it gives you the tracking link. Once that sounding completes, once it bursts or goes out of range, it'll actually drop the sounding in Discord, and you'll get either, what's cool, you'll get the light mode or the dark mode sounding. We're going to make that public here once, probably after this launch right here solidified that everything works, so we can make that public, which is cool. And then we've got ways that you can interact with this in Discord too that we're testing. Like I've got a Discord bot that'll actually, as soon as it calculate, like as soon as it hits LCL, shouldn't say as soon as it hits because it has to go above that to know that that's the LCL. But as soon as it calculates LCL, it'll drop in there and say, you know, LCL detected, you know, whatever pressure, whatever meters, if that makes sense, which I think is really freaking cool. So a lot of neat stuff in there. One of the things that I want to work on in the future is our own analog system of looking at sounding analogs. So what my vision is with this, and this might be really tough to do, and it's probably not it's not a this year thing. It's a 2027 thing, but I want to take photos of our environments. Like if we get a supercell and we can attach that to a sounding, I want that to go into a database, and then we'll train some sort of AI, whatever, to look at this. I'm not making a y'all bot, calm down. But some sort of model, I guess I should say, not really AI, some sort of model to look at that. And then maybe after a couple of years of doing this, we can say, hey, this sounding usually produces a storm that looks like this. And then when we get that sounding, we can maybe start attaching potential visuals and say, hey, this is what's, you know, we might be looking at. One of the big things that we had to do was switch our API to just, because right now our standard is JSON, JSON. So like our standard API packet is just like basically plain text. It'll say, you know, every second there's a new chunk, like a new paragraph of data. It'll have the ID, temperature, dew point, altitude, every statistic, and it's just printed right there. That's compatible with everything that we do, but that's not compatible with the National Weather Service. And I had a conference call with somebody from one of the National Weather Center groups, and I'm like, well, what format do you want? And they're just like, just Rayob. And I'm like, well, what's Rayob? And they're like, Sharpie. I'm like, okay, I can do that. So we have a separate API that is not public. I mean, it is. There's no reason it couldn't be. But when you go up into that top burger menu and click on export, it's just pulling from that API. So if anybody here wants that API because you want to like put it into automatically fetch in Sharpie, I don't know if you can even do that. You could probably find it. I think if you right click on it, like if you right click on export to Sharpie, I think it'll give you the URL, and that URL, that's the API. Just take off the .txt. That's your API, and then you just change the sound ID. We'll post more about that later, but it basically is the same format, but it's like a grid. It's like a table. So instead of it being JSON chunks, it'll say, you know, pressure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way, you know, 7,000 pressures worth just in a list, and that's what Sharpie reads. Sharpie is basically what makes those soundings, but in order to like put it into models or analysis or something that exists on other people's stuff, not ours, we have to use like a universal language. It's almost like we speak our own language that works for us, but the Weather Service, and let's say the Weather Service, and let's say some other college or some research group, they all speak different languages, but everybody knows the Sharpie or Sharpie language. So it's a common language that everybody can speak. It doesn't really work efficiently for what we're doing live because it's clean data. And I don't even know what the actual not monophasic, monotropic, whatever. I don't know. What did I get pinged for?
mono something. Basically, it takes one, it cleans it so that if we have duplicate pressure readings, because like if that balloon bobs up and down, we'll get duplicate pressure readings. It cleans the data so that when it gets imported, we're not looking at dirty SON data. It cleans it. That's basically the clean output. All of our web viewer, our sounding generator, all that stuff cleans the data on its own. The API is raw. But for other people, we need to give them clean data because they don't know our parameters and how, like, the way that everything works for us to clean that data is specific to what we're doing, if that makes sense. So that's basically like a clean, nice, one reading per pressure. It's always ascending pressure. It's not too much data. It's only like one bar per like 50 millibars or something. I don't know. It's whatever. So that's why we do it that way. I'm just anxiously awaiting this to complete. Let me pull up the chat. Yeah, so this is what all your money goes to, and this is why I'm going broke. That was $500 we just pissed on our leg, but it was worth it. This is actually really valuable data. It really is, because there's no soundings. The only sounding that we would have right now would be ACARs. So hold on, let me send this to Evan. Freiberger. Freiberger's a decent guy. But the reason that we don't... Hold on, this might have been important. Yeah, no shit, right? The reason that I really wanted to do this is because, number one, it's bragging rights. Because everybody on Facebook and Twitter, well, Facebook was giving me a hard time for the dry hole. It just proved it's dry. But anyway, the other thing is with these, the nearest sounding atmospheric profile that we're going to have is out of Little Rock or Shreveport. I'm sure there's an ACAR sounding out of Memphis somewhere, but... Okay, so our upper air soundings, let me look at a map. Where is the nearest sounding from? Little Rock and Shreveport. Yeah, Little Rock, Shreveport, Jackson. Jackson does one. Let me look at chat. Yeah, I just passed that along to Freiberger just because he's only got like 400 people watching him, and he's like the only one that's been live through this like whole event from like absolute start to finish. He's a good kid. God, this thing needs to... Oh, it burst? Did it go? Nope, that's something else. Give Evan just a little bit of an advantage there over the bigger guys, because he deserves it. So, a couple of facts right now. So our weather balloon's at 35,000 feet. Its pressure is 260.6 HPA, millibars. This thing is over Ripley.
This thing's going to probably end up in Tennessee. This thing's still ascending at 5 meters per second. Guys, we overinflated that thing, didn't we? That's okay. I mean, it's fine. We probably overinflated it a little bit more than, but I don't think it actually encountered any freezing rain on the way up. It's in the dry hole. Oh yeah, Zach. There'd be no finding this one because without the parachute on there, you'll never find it. I mean, you're looking for this little piece of plastic that looks like a freaking cell phone in a field of who knows where. You'd be finding a needle in a haystack. Let me look at Radar Omega and see what the freaking sound or the hole looks like right now. We're kind of we're definitely in the dry hole, sort of. Kind of. Radar is having a little bit of a hard time seeing through this. I think it's like bright banding a bit, but I don't know. This is just everything's just a freaking mess right now. Yeah, I tagged Hilton in that post too. Hell with him. Might as well, right? That might be the first weather balloon sounding ever done from the Hampton Inn here. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to track it on flight radar because it's not an airplane. That's why. I mean, you can track it in our tracker, but I mean, it doesn't have a transponder on it. God, this thing's still going up. I wonder if SoundHub picked it up. Yes, SoundHub picked it up. They just picked it up recently, though. Yep, from the dry hole, people. I'm trying to post this damn thing to Facebook. This thing needs to burst. I want my sounding. I need a way to capture the sounding before, like at maybe 400 millibars and then at like 200 millibars. I wish I could manually generate the sounding without having to. We could, but you would have a URL conflict. We just need to be patient, is all. Doesn't kill us to be a little patient. God dang, we've got a 100 gram balloon up there, and we're at 40,000 feet basically. This thing needs to burst. I need this to burst. I need the I want the data. You just got to be patient. But we can look at the crude skew T right now. It doesn't give us parameters, and it's not... Yeah. We have a warm nose. This is big time freezing rain sounding. I'm impressed thoroughly. This thing's gonna end up over there by freaking Iuka. This thing might land in Florence. Oh god, Florence. This thing's gonna end up in Florence if it keeps going like this. The Sondhub predictor thinks it's gonna land somewhere by Lawrenceburg. Interesting. But anyway, it's probably gonna land somewhere over there by Lawrenceburg. So that worked really well. I mean, I don't know how long it took to launch that, but we launched it really fast. I'm really happy with that. I'm dead serious. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. Like, that means that we got everything fixed. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. This is actually good data. I mean, this is impressive. I mean, God, that's a huge warm layer. Man, oh man, guys. Is it at 40,000? Yeah, the rate of ascent should start slowing down. That balloon's getting big, but this is impressive for a 100-gram balloon. This is insane that we're at 189 millibars. This thing's gonna probably be sub 100 pretty soon. I can't believe it. That's ridiculous, man. I wonder if I can export Sharpie while it's generating. Yeah, I can. Yep. Okay. That's that, guys. The one advantage of exporting Sharpie is Sharpie will pull up the like best guess precip type. I don't have a way to do best guess precip type. I just don't. I mean, we could switch sounding engines, but I just don't have a way to do best guess precip type. I just don't, and I don't really think it's that important. I mean, anybody looking at a sounding like this is going to be able to give you an idea. But folks, this is what the GoFundMe is for. I see we're up to 13,000 already. I appreciate that a lot. I really do. You guys help cover that. That's pretty cool. Like, I think what we got for contributions today is probably covering the cost of that, which is really cool. God, I'm hungry now. Yeah, we built all that. I mean, there's commercial ground stations and sounding software, but the problem is none of it does what we need it to do. You know, because we have to upload this stuff in real time. Yeah, we used the red balloon tonight for visibility at night. Didn't want to use a black one. We've got the white ones too, but I think the colored ones are cooler. Or these colored. All right, I'm really getting impatient now. 133 mile an hour winds up there? No kidding. Wow. That might be our all-time max wind speed. Honestly. 40,000, 42,000 through 225. 165 mile an hour winds? Is that might not be right. That might, remember, this isn't filtered. It's not filtered data, so it could just be give it a few to like average it. No, it's 165. You're kidding me, 165 mile an hour winds up there? Holy crap. You gotta be kidding me. Let me make sure that's not just, what? Yeah, no, it checks out. No, it checks out. It's legit. Huh. Jesus God. Wow. That's incredible. Man. Wow. I just closed out my window by accident. Guys, everybody go look at that site if you're looking at it right now. I want to check our server health. Make sure we're not bogging down. Let me SSH into this thing. Server health's fine. Yeah, we're good. We are using like 0 resources. Okay, that's good. Very happy. This is good. That right there is the confirmation that I've needed just to make sure everything's good. This thing's starting to get out of range. There's bigger gaps between the data, which is fine. It's starting to get out of range. I mean, guys, this thing's way out there. I mean, it's just just south of Corinth. Let me go into Radar Omega and then measure that. This thing is, guys, this thing's 70 miles away. It's out of range. It's going to be out of range in a second. It's 70 miles away. It's going to be out of range. We want it to go out of range. Get out of range so I can get my sounding. So what triggers the sounding to generate is it's been out of range for at least 15 minutes, or, oh, this is Jackson, Mississippi. Wait, shit. Is this Jackson, Mississippi, or Memphis? I just assumed this was Memphis, or the balloon popped. Is this what weather service office is this? I thought this was Memphis. Oh, there's the power. Thing going up. So I switched it over to Verizon. Apparently T-Mobile died. Yeah, so power's back. Well, anyway. Yeah, we're still receiving it. Surprisingly. Man, oh man. Come on, damn thing, burst. We're gonna hit 50,000 feet. These balloons shouldn't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but like, we really should only get like 35 to 40,000 feet out of this particular balloon, but we still get like 55 to 60, which is really impressive. Trying to find something here.
I'm sorry, guys. Thank you, Keenan, for saying something. I have to shut somebody down here real quick. I'm really, really irritated with somebody right now, and I'm shutting them down. So you didn't miss anything. God, there's some interesting people out there in the world of weather balloons, let me tell you that. I really hate people that develop open source software sometimes. You're not thanking us for you're using our open source software and you're not thanking us. I used your open source software once for 5 minutes. Thanks. I don't know what to tell you. No, it's just more people accusing me of copying other people, but I would love to know who I'm copying. Jesus Christ. It's just, oh, it's always something out here. I'm surprised we still have this balloon. This thing, guys, this thing's up to almost 55,000 feet. No, it's at 55. It's at 56,000 feet. It's in Alabama. This thing's going to end up in Florence. Good Lord. Well, we'll have a full sounding on this soon. Oh, did it burst? No, still flying. Unreal. Hell, this might end up closer to Nashville, guys. No, I got somebody that's dogging on our project right now, claiming that, and they might be watching right now. So I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want this to be misconstrued. Basically, I'm getting the impression that somebody thinks that we're using
their open source software and then claiming that it's ours. That's not the case. This is just really irritating. You know what? I don't even owe these people an explanation. The hell with them. The hell with it. I'm not even doing this. If you want my data on your website, don't challenge me. I'm done with this crap. The hell with it. I don't owe anybody an explanation unless they want to pay me for it. That's basically what nope, I don't even care. I'm done. You're right. You guys are right. I don't owe anybody. I'm done. Go ahead and accuse all you want. That's fine. I'm done. Don't care. You guys are right. I shouldn't care. Who cares? Let them. Screw them. What's 30 or 40 people that think we're stupid when we've got 150,000? You know what I'm saying? So you guys are right. Screw them. Absolutely right. I'm literally arguing with the developer of an open source, and I am going to argue because I'm in the mood. I'm arguing with the developer of open source software for radio sons, who is basically challenging me, saying that we are using their software and we need to give them an attribute. The reason I'm using their software is because, number one, it's free and open source, but number two, I want to show you these messages, but I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But number two, you were used for testing and to put the data into your service. Why does it fucking matter? This is just ridiculous. Like I don't actually care anymore. I'm just at the point where like I'm so annoyed that I have to process this. So let me process this. You know, there's one thing that pisses me off is somebody that says that I'm lying and I just use somebody's open source shit to build all this. That pisses me off. I am about to roast the shit out of something here. I can't even spell explanation. I hope I spelled it right because Discord's not spell checking me. Explanation. I spelled it wrong, but it's fine. I think these guys are threatened that I'm trying to replace them. I'm not. I'm certainly not. I spelled separate wrong. How do you spell separate? Separate. There we go. I'm gonna leave out some. I'm gonna leave out names, and you guys tell me if this makes sense. The reason that the serial numbers are the same is because that sounding was generated with a blank receiver. That would be why the generated ID is of blank format. Only the soundings that were received using a blank ground station are posted in the public API right now. You are not seeing the ones that are generated with only our hardware and software. Our software and configuration has been run on more SONs than what's available on the website. But until I have 20 plus of these that I can cross-check and say, yep, looks the same, I've held them in the private queue. We also run concurrent SkySound instances at a time to verify that way. So far, everything is expected that way. My reason that I said before of using a separate blank receiver, as you had suggested, was because of this whole explanation. I do not intend to use in the launch vehicles a blank receiver, but I am willing to install a blank receiver in order to feed the blank hub information if people would appreciate that. I'm so sick of it. You're just running our software. No, I'm not. You guys asked me if I would run your freaking software. Oh my god. Anyway, I just. So the balloon is done. Well, it's going to be a few minutes before we have a sounding, because it's. Well, how long ago did it burst? Hang on. Oh, it just popped. It just popped a minute ago. 6 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago. It's actually out of range. That's funny. So it's out of range. We should have a sounding probably in the next 10 minutes. Well, I don't know. It's basically people I think are just upset because I'm not attributing open source software. Because on our website, I claim that we use custom software and custom hardware, and I think this group thinks that I'm ripping them off. That's not the case. I've used this other open source software to check our software. I don't use it or the code to develop any of ours. I think what they're getting at is they're upset because I didn't fork it on GitHub, but I'm not using their code. I just used it as whatever. And then I also use SkySound. Have you guys ever heard? I don't know if anybody's heard of SkySound. There's some guy at the National Weather Service that made it. And I think it only works with internet SONs, I think. It was some guy at the Weather Service. Like, he didn't build it for the Weather Service, but he works at the Weather Service or something. So I also use SkySond to cross check our stuff. So up until now, I'm not going to do it anymore because our stuff checks out. But up until now, when we would do a sounding, I would have a couple of different receivers going. One of them was usually SkySond, one of them was RadioSond Auto RX, one of them was ours, and one of them was that I forgot what it's called, but it's got a yellow logo. I can't remember what it is, but I would run a couple different receivers with the same SDR and a similar antenna just to make sure that the data was being received in the same format. Even if it wasn't uploading to our API, I would still just cross-check the data to make sure that like our receiver wasn't missing anything. And everything works out fine. Everything's working fine. So we don't need to do any more cross-checking, but I think what's happened is I hope that people don't think that I'm trying to compete with other tracking websites for radio sounds, because this stuff is only for us. I'm not trying to pick up other people's radio sounds. This is only for us. I think maybe I need to make that clear that this is not something that's coming in to be a competitor, because what we have is pretty slick. And I think we might be being seen as some sort of competitor at this point, and maybe that's being miscommunicated. Because this is a science research project. We're not here to compete. The only SONs that are going into our database are ours. Perhaps the weather services too, but like we're not out here trying to make it a public tool for tracking this stuff. Well, we are, but for our purposes, if that makes sense. I'm not out here trying to compete with other free open source websites that track SONs. I'm not trying to show anybody up or be like, oh, this is cool or something. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make us a tool that works really good for what we're doing. And it's been really hard to do. The Bell, I think it's either Bell 202 or Bell 292. Telemetry has been a pain in the ass to build a decoder for. And I think that might be partially why these guys think that I'm using their code. But because it's really a pain in the ass. And that's the one part that I actually had AI help us with. It didn't code it, like it didn't totally vibe code it, but I had to basically ask AI, like, hey, I need to decode Bell 202 using a USB-based software-defined receiver. What the hell do I do? And it basically was able to give me something to start with. It didn't work. It did not work, but I was able to use it as a base and then tweak it and then build it into what we were using. Because I didn't even know where to start. It's like, where do you even start with that? So that's that. The good news is the software-defined receivers that we use have really good documentation on how to communicate with them and how to get the data off of them and how to interface with the drivers. So that really worked out in our favor. Yeah, very lucky with that. Yeah, it's going to be like 5-10 minutes before we get this sounding, because this thing has to like confirm that it's out of. We only lost it 10 minutes ago. I think it's a 15-minute cooldown that it takes when it's out of range to yeah, it's a 15-minute cooldown, so it's just in case it comes back into range. Sondhub is still picking it up. It's about to land. It's gonna land somewhere out there. Looks like it's near a hospital. No, it's Tennessee 227. It's just over. It's south of Waynesboro, Tennessee. I think it's probably on the ground by now.
Oh, we got it. Hold on. Looks good. It looks just like the VWP. Cape 0. I'll show you in a second. Yeah, it looks just like the damn... Looks just like the VWP out of Memphis, which is good. So that means it's good. Photograph's good. It's not... It's posting to Discord, but it's not posting to the... That's weird. It didn't post to the website. Yeah, it looks good. Let me post this here. What time did we launch? We'll just call it 060. All right, I just uploaded it. See, our shear value is the same as the photograph. So the VWP, which is the radar, shows 236 at 40 something knots, and we show 240 at 47. That's pretty good. I don't have critical angle on mine. I probably should. Yeah, this is good. I'm trying to... It shouldn't take that long to upload a photo to Twitter, but it just did. Why? Ah, god dang it. Oh, this freaking, what is going on with Twitter? Like, I just ended up uploading it like freaking 5 times here. Hang on. Hold on, guys. This is, it's not us. It's Twitter. Cape 0. All right, I just posted it. You guys are just, I can't really show you on stream very well. Just go ahead and look at it there on socials. A friend of mine thinks it's going to be mostly sleet. I don't know. He knows soundings better than I do, so I'll take it from him. But all right, so freezing rain, sleet, whatever. So that's cool. So this is what we got. Okay, there we go. So here's our sounding, okay? So we've got temperature on the bottom, pressure on the top, or on the left. So up with height, and then colder over here, warmer over here. So here's our surface. So the green is dew point and the red is temperature. Think of green as moisture. As we start, 0 degree temperature, see the 0 degree temperature line? They're skewed so the data fits on the map. -20, -30. So to find the temperature, you find a point and then follow it down. 0 degrees is our freezing line, which is right here. So our surface, at the surface, we're freezing, right? It's freezing means it's going to be ice. As we go up, look at that. Less than a kilometer up, less than 1,000 meters, it's warm. And it stays above freezing all the way to about 700 millibars. That big chunk of warm air allows any frozen precipitation to melt, and it comes down as rain, and then when it hits the ground, it freezes. That's how that works. Now you know. It traveled 136 miles. What did our sonde? I mean, that doesn't really matter. I mean, it means that it's very windy. I mean, it's not really any significance to us, but it just means it's really windy. All right, guys. Well, with that said, I think I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to stay live long enough to be able to get that in. So we did it. We'll be back again. We'll be back again in the morning, probably like 8 or 9 a.m. So thanks for watching, guys. And
We'll be back later.